Hi everyone, welcome to day 16 of Spellbinder's Crafty Advent Calendar. A happy day, a two-piece word die set. And I've put two of my loves together, rainbows and word dies, into this fun slimline card. I'm starting off with a panel of oversized black cardstock that I'm going to be repeat die cutting with the shadow die from today's set. To space out these die cuts evenly, I have my T-ruler and I first marked off the 1/2 inch mark, and then I'm making a tick at every 1.5 inches. On the left-hand side of the panel, at the top and the bottom, I also made a 1/2 inch mark and have joined those two ticks with a light pencil line. For each die cut, I'll line up the left-hand side of the shadow die with that pencil line and center it between those two ticks that mark off the 1.5 inch space. I'll use some low-tack tape to hold the die in place, and then I can cut it. Even though this is low-tack tape, I'm still careful as I remove the die with the tape from the panel. Then again, the left-hand side of the die is lined up with that pencil line and centered between the two ticks marking off the 1.5 inch space. And I just continue in this manner until I have a total of 5 die cuts. An easy process to follow. And when I'm done, all of the pencil marks are erased with a soft artist's eraser. Using a regular eraser may make abrasions on the cardstock. The panel is cut with the largest die from Postage Edge Slimline's die set. The die is centered over the die cut openings, top to bottom, left to right, and then held in place with some low-tack tape. And there we have it. This fun design deserves some fun edging around the panel. I've retained all of the black shadow die cuts, and then using the word die, it was cut from 5 different rainbow colors. This die cuts individual letters. They are easily lined up on the shadow die cut. Then I'll go ahead and adhere all of the letters for all 5 hellos. Oh, look at that, I'm done. Now I can start working on the background for this panel to sit on. Bristol smooth cardstock was cut to 3.5 by 8.5 inches. I'll be ink blending the edge of this panel using the 5 colors that were used on the word die cuts. I'm working with Distress Oxide inks, Picked Raspberry, Carved Pumpkin, Squeezed Lemonade, Mowed Lawn, and Broken China. To get a nice smooth transition between these 5 bold colors, I like to use blending tools. And to make this blending quick and easy, cardstock does make a difference. Any project that involves ink blending, I always reach for Bristol Smooth cardstock. And it is handy having a dedicated blending tool for each color. As I work around the perimeter of the panel, I focus on one edge at a time, first applying the color and then going back and blending it out between the 2 colors. And of course, because I was just doing the edging of this panel, it did not take long at all. Liquid adhesive is added to the black panel, and I make sure that I go around each of those word die cuts and it is centered on the panel that I just ink blended. Now I can go ahead and pop this on a card base that measures 3 3/4 by 8 3/4 inches. Those word die cuts are going to stand out, but I love dimension, and so I've used the shadow die and die cut black sheet foam, and then I will stack the word die on the foam. Popping up these die cuts also brings attention to the fact that there is a shadow die cut, which would kind of disappear if it had been adhered flat to the panel. I love how this turned out. So much fun. And to wrap up this card, I have half pearls that correspond with each of the colors used on the hellos. And that wraps up day 16 of Spellbinder's Crafty Advent Calendar. Day 17 is a pretty one, so I hope you'll stay tuned. As always, I appreciate your visit.